All right, this is Steve, and I'm talking about the Bel Air conversion here. And the thing with a conversion versus something that you buy off of the lot or whatnot, where they've tried to engineer it so that you don't have to do any thinking at all. This is a little bit like an airplane where you need to understand what the gauges are saying, and that way you can fly right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing when we're seeing it. Now we look down here on our meter. Our meter will vary on the voltage part from 80 down to, I believe, 60, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Wherever empty is. And it does have a low voltage alarm here. And if that alarm goes off, the only way to get it to stop being off is to push the OK button twice after you've charged it or whatnot, or it just stopped and let it rest for a little bit. Now the other thing that we notice, and this is something you want to notice right now, you notice it's not using any electricity with the key off. Now I turn the key on, and things start firing up, and now we see we're using 1.4 amps of power. Now this power is also going to charge the 12-volt battery. Some of that power is, if the battery is low. And you'll notice when I pull on the lights, we use even more power. That's because that DC to DC, which is like the alternator in the car, is putting out a certain amount of power. We put on the brakes, and we see that goes up. So that's normal stuff to let us know, everything is working good. If for some reason we didn't see any amps at all, we'd say, oh, I think my DC to DC may not be working. So our next thing is we have two ways of going in reverse. We have our switch over here. Oh, the other thing is when I put the air conditioner on, you'll notice it uses quite a bit of power. Not really quite a bit, but there's no cast in your foot. Oh, and nice. What this is
That's the temperature.
Oh, that's the temperature.
The other side is the fan.
That's the fan.
Yep.
So we can turn that down so we don't hear it. Yeah. All right. So now our two ways of going. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now we get no AC, but that's all right. And we see that our amperage has dropped way back down, so that's proof that our air conditioning compressor is turned off. Now we got our forward and reverse switch, and I put it in second gear, which is the gear that we like the most, and then I put it in reverse, and I can back up with that. Now we have this turned down a bit because reverse, you don't want to be flying through the windshield. Now if you want more power in reverse, if you've got for some reason something that you got to get over or something, you can put it in forward and keep your reverse gear. And now, oh, the other thing is, and it's good that you cannot switch gears with the forward and reverse with your foot on the gas pedal or with the car moving above a certain speed, or it shuts down. It thinks you switch gears by accident. So now we're in reverse, and yeah, we got a lot of power now.
So you can use the switch or you can use the transmission.
Yep. And unlike a gas car where you feel like you got to shift because you're cruising along and I was started off in first. When I got up to a certain speed, I shifted it into second and third. With this, the electric motor actually likes spinning fast. It's making less heat the faster it spins. So you're fine just driving this in second gear up to the speed that it likes to go. All right, so if you if you're going over 45, 50 miles an hour, you can either choose to start off in third gear and not have the acceleration, or you can do the shift, but you're going to have to practice it a little bit. Part of it is not to be going into fifth gear when you're trying to get into third. And the other, so you take your foot off the go pedal, and as the engine slows down, you're applying a little pressure, and once it lines up, once the gears line up, it slides right in. If you put too much pressure, though, you're gonna grind the gears, and you'll probably have to stop to get it back into the other gear. Of course, downshifting is a little trickier because we got to rev the motor up. But it can be done. Yeah, I just shifted down to third to second, just so I can show you another second to third. And a lot of it is you got to just, yeah. And watch that you don't get in between third and fifth, because then you'll be pushing and it won't be going anywhere. Fourth gear is a little rough there. And why would we go into fourth gear?
If you're really,
Now we're lugging that motor, but
yeah.
he's a happy motor anyway. This is what it would be like if we had no transmission at all. It just went directly to the drive shaft, which is another feature I like. I mean, if these motors just had a little more bottom end torque, we could do that. But taking off in fourth gear from a standstill, even third, yeah,
Yeah, it
we-
lags.
yeah, we got nothing in third. Not bad in
Nothing in fourth, not bad in third. Second
best in
gear.
second.
Yeah, second gear is where you get your pep.
And Jerome says it'll go 50 in second.
Yeah, pretty nicely. So second's kind of going to be your cruising gear. You're around